Hi, I'm Creepy Pasta Jr.
And I'm Miss Shadow Lovely.
And this is Geeks 5 Ever.
Hello, it's me, Dr. Mario, and you're watching Geeks 5 Ever. Woohoo!
Hey, this is Spike Spencer for Geeks 5 Ever and my beautiful wife, Kimberly Spencer.
For Geeks 5 Ever.
Geeks 5 Ever.
Hi, I'm Aaron Salise Cosplay, and this is Geeks 5 Ever.
What is up, everyone? Anime Unrated here with another Geeks 5 Ever podcast. Today we're going to be doing a recap of Delta H Con 2016 that just happened recently. We're still working on our music video. With us today, as always, she's always with us, is SAKEKITTY.
Sup?
We got one of the staff members from Delta H Con, Mr. Senor Oliver.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Like, oh, okay. And next we have Super Chris. Super Chris.
Where's my nachos?
Just talk louder into the microphone. No nachos for you. Nacho cheese, man. Oh, I'm sorry, I burped a little. Oh, God.
That was terrible. Oh, God.
It smells like Domino's Pizza.
No smell-o-vision for you.
Good thing there's no such thing as 4D. Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about Delta H Con. So Delta H Con just happened recently. All of us were there.
Yeah.
You were working the con. You were there all weekend. SAKEKITTY, you were a guest. Chris, you just went there to buy shit. And I was there. I didn't even get drunk this weekend.
Sure.
I didn't. I was playing babysitter because there was con drama going on in our hotel room.
Oh, my God.
And we just had a podcast about... No, we had a podcast a while back about that.
The con drama, remember Tori or...
It sounded more like a rant than a podcast. Rest in peace, prime ribs.
Didn't the con get bigger? Because it seemed like it got bigger this year. Because I remember I was a guest last year, and then this year it looks like... to me, it looked like there was twice as more people than it was last year.
What?
So
Seemed like there was plenty of people there.
yeah, it got in a lot bigger, and I liked the guests that they had this year, and I got like 2 autographs, so I'm like super happy. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we before Delta, we did a creeper podcast, and we were talking about creepers, and there was this chick with this nice ass booty at the con. I just followed her for like 10 minutes at a distance. I was mesmerized. I was like, jeez, what am I doing? Where am I? I was like, oh crap! Didn't we just do a podcast about this exact thing?
We did.
I couldn't help it.
What was your favorite thing there?
The booty.
It's all about the booty.
Oh my God, that butt.
But there were some
Power
lovely-
Girl?
No,
Power Girl?
it was a Misty.
Oh, I didn't
It was
see
a
Misty.
Misty
I think
cosplay.
I saw that, man.
And
I
her
saw
butt
Power
was like
Girl.
hanging out of her short shorts. I was like,
I saw Power Girl on that
There
cop
was-
car.
I forgot I was at Delta H
I
Con.
think my friend, one of my photographers, was actually taking pictures. Is it like the white Power Girl?
Mm-mm.
There was a white one and a black one, and they were both awesome. It was just.
I didn't
so
even
amazing.
see the other one.
Yeah, I took pictures.
What the
of
fuck?
it.
There was a
okay.
white Power Girl. What was there? Other varieties? We had a purple one, a black one,
Yeah.
a
It
yellow
doesn't matter
one.
what color. I like all Power
Rainbow
Girls.
Damn, that Misty though. This shout out to Misty.
Any
was-
pictures?
Pictures.
Pictures.
I wish
Always.
I did not take pictures. Thank God I didn't because
Speaking of which I really want to, I did this on my Instagram. I did get the signature of the voice actor who does Ladybug from Ladybug and Cat Noir. The
Marvelous Ladybug.
Marvelous Ladybug. It was awesome, and so I actually got like 4 signatures from her, which is awesome. Thank you very much. But there's this. I bought this one Ladybug print for $5, and it was her. And there was like Paris in the background. It was a really beautiful picture, and I just want to shout out to that artist, which I don't know because I don't have her card, but the voice actor actually really liked that picture that you drew. So shout out to her. I love artists, so hopefully maybe she'll hear this podcast because she actually really did like that.
There
drawing.
was a couple good artists
shout out to Subway for keeping us fed during the weekend. It might have not been fresh, but you know what? It's better than sugar packets and water.
You always need that energy.
Yeah, I think this is one thing that we really like about that hotel. There's a lot of food in the area.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
slightly
water.
safer than
Yeah.
And
garbage
it wasn't
bin
too
Diddy.
hot
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a deal killer for a lot of cosplayers.
Well,
It's nice and cool in the hotel. Thank you, Delta H.
there should have been somebody selling blankets in the dealer's room because
Yeah.
that room was freezing.
Man, our room there was so much damn body heat coming out of our room Man, first off, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're sharing a room with somebody, please, if one of your roommates brings their own blanket and pillow, anyways, if one of your roommates brings his own, Oliver got a breaking news. Delta HCon 2017 is happening. Anyways, so I brought my own blanket and pillow, and then like one of the girls that was staying with us took it upon herself to take my shit and fall asleep with it, and I was locked out of the room for about an hour. I was knocking as quietly as I possibly could, hoping that someone that was awake could faintly hear it. So the girl answers, then she goes back to bed into my Mexican blanket and my own pillow, and I'm suffering throughout the damn night.
See, it's just like most of the time when I go to cons, I always bring at least my own blanket and towel. I always bring my own towel most of the time because I nothing wrong with hotels. It's just like I just want my own towel.
I don't care about the towel, man, but I want my own goddamn blanket.
Yeah.
And I got a big van, so I keep extra chairs, a cot, pillows, blankets, just in case.
You're
I
always
have to
ready with a
survive
cot.
this-
Well,
yeah.
before we continue, shout out to Box of Props Mario, the leader of the group, Ross Martinez. Shout out to him because, you know, if you share a bed with that guy, he's going to knee you in the nuts like he's mugging you. You know, that's why I'm like, hey, Goku, anime, unrated, whatever. You want to share the bed with Ross? Hell no. Last time I shared a bed with him, he kneed me in the balls. I was just handing my wallet to him while I was sleeping. Just take it.
I get complaints when I sleep with people. Like most of the time, they call me like the fucking space heater because I just generate a lot of heat.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. So.
It could have been freezing in the room. I'm still sweating. Oh.
And then, like, cause like I remember it was like one of my friends. I love her to death, Lauren. We're always talking about like like sweet sleeping arrangements because like some people don't want to sleep with some other people. And I slept with like almost everybody.
Oh, my.
I slept with
Ooh.
everybody.
If you're just tuning
Wow.
in.
So like me and her shared a bed, and then like the next morning I'm like, I do not want to sleep with you because you hog the covers. It's like, because you're a fucking space heater. Like you just generate so much heat. I'm like, but I'm cold. I don't want to sleep
But that's
with
the
you.
thing though. If you were,
Just, like,
if
one
we were sharing the same bed and you were generating so much heat, I'd get rid of covers. Because like, god damn, nigga,
she takes all the covers. So we were like playfully arguing with each other, and then I'm like, oh yeah, well I slept with Jennifer, I slept with Chris, I slept with Mahana, I slept with like Danny, and I'm like naming all the people I slept with, and I'm like, they never complained about me. You're the only
Again, if
person
you're
that
just tuning in.
complained.
Don't kiss and tell.
Okay,
Come on.
well,
I slept with everybody.
there you have it, folks. Saki Kitties taking care of Delta HCon's attendees in more ways than one.
But unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
It's like most of the time I usually just like if I share a bed, I'm like I'm perfectly fine with that person, but most of the time I'm like I just have my own bed so people can start complaining. I don't mind sleeping on the floor or the couch. I'm tiny, so I could just like curl up like a
Get
kitten.
a cot. That's what I tell
Yeah.
you.
Stop telling everyone to get a goddamn cot.
Those things are useful. Trust me, they're
Oliver
really,
Queen
really
keeping the
useful.
cot company alive since
They're useful.
when were you born?
Delivery
19
room, here you go in a cot.
Yeah.
And you can make money off of that at a con. You
Yeah.
probably can.
Floor's uneven, you had a cot. The floor's wet, you have a cot. Somebody's being annoying. You
Cat
have a cot.
shits on the couch again. You have a cot.
Yeah.
Like any way are possible. But yeah, that's usually like the case.
He has
for me.
sharp stuff on you. You have a cot. Because you use that on an air mattress, you're going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, one of our buddies slept
Air
on an
mattress
air
only takes so
mattress.
much.
You know who I'm talking about? Pink Panther himself.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. He is all crooked and beat up. Just need flight saddle.
I ran into his roommate. He drags me to his room. Hey man, let's go take a shot and drink a beer. So we were gonna drink, but then there was a cricket in their room, and I screamed like a little girl. I'm like, man, you better get a discount with that giant ass Godzilla looking cricket. It was so tiny too.
Well, he was actually a guest, so.
Yeah, I know.
His
He
room
was
was free.
He was telling me he performed.
Eh.
Well, it seems like a lot of people were guests this year. I've never been one to care about the guest lineup because
Yeah.
that's not really my thing. But I have to say, man, I was surprised to see how cool some of the guests were. Man, they were They were pretty legit. I got videos with some of them. We recorded a few things. Some of the cosplay guests, man. One of them, this chick, I don't know her name. She cosplayed Harley
Cinder?
Quinn Saturday. She looks like a doll. Like
Yeah, she has a little cute like button nose and those
Miss
beautiful.
Kate?
I think so. And she dresses as she dresses as Lolita, I believe, on Friday.
she's real super skinny.
Yeah,
Yep.
she is adorable. She could do the Harley Quinn voice so
She
cute.
was at the cosplay dating game Battle Royale Saturday night, and she said she's from Arizona.
Yeah,
She's
from Arizona.
she's been in cosplay dating games before, but
Not this one.
not this one. Not to toot my own horn, but
She enjoyed it, I believe.
she really did like it. Even her handler, who announced that she was asexual and she's not really into the sexual jokes, even though the panel itself is over the top with sexual jokes, even she had fun.
Yeah. And then that's one thing I like about panels is like it's all about like having fun and everything. So she's like all the cosplay guests, they were so sweet. I was like the Cinder cosplayer, she did Jasmine. Dear God, she looks like her.
It was. I enjoyed
Spot
it.
on that.
The crowd was good. It was. I don't know if the crowd has grown. I definitely.
There was I know the crowd has grown because there was a big difference between last year and
I
this
knew.
year.
I knew.
Lady Kate.
Oh,
Based
Lady
on
Kate.
my
Wait, wait.
experience.
Lady Kate is the one that
Who's
was
that?
The cosplayer.
the cosplayer that was
Who's
at
that?
Harley
your-
Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Lady Kate.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah. So shout
Yeah.
out to Lady Kate.
Shout out to Lady Kate and her handler, who's also my friend, Miss Loki.
He was awesome. Great.
Well, she.
She's
She.
awesome.
But
I don't
her-
care. I'm sorry.
We're friends now on Facebook,
Okay.
and she's pretty cool. I got to know her a little bit. They're both from Arizona, so shout out to both of them, man. You guys rock. You guys, but and I'm sorry to say this too. Even though they were both really good, they were both funny. They both put up a really good show. The people that stole the show throughout the entire weekend. Sorry to the cosplay contest. Sorry to the formal. Sorry to Anime Jeopardy. Sorry to all the other panels, but the one thing that stole the show that weekend was during the cosplay dating game Battle Royale when Eisen and the heavyset guy in the sloth costume both stripped to Barbie girl and got all the way down to their undies.
Can you do that?
And I fell to the floor laughing. So I was supposed to stop them like 20 seconds sooner, but I was on the floor grabbing my sides because I was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing so hard. So two decided to join us. They're gonna be in the background a little. If you're gonna talk, remember. So this is the first time you guys are on the podcast. So we just asked if you're gonna say anything bad about anyone, just don't mention their name unless there's actual evidence proving that what you're saying is true.
Police report says.
Police report says that homeboy got married to some guy named Big Blue in the jailhouse during Onicon. Oh no. Anyways, no, that didn't actually happen. Like I already hear somebody messaging me, "Dear Anime Unrated, how dare you?"
Have you ever gotten like really mean messages?
Why do you think I changed my stage name from the original one to Anime Unrated?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I thought because this one was better.
Actually, that sounds better.
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about? Delta. We were talking about Delta.
Yep.
So, the thing was, I haven't been to Delta since it was at U of H, and I have to say, people were complaining about the crowd Friday. I thought the crowd, to me, because I hadn't been there recently, so I thought the crowd was a major improvement from when it was at U of H, because the Friday's crowd was their Saturday crowd on a good year.
Now, we did have a lot less people coming pre-reg than we should have because quite a few of them actually came out of Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
So, obviously, right now with the floods, nobody from Louisiana was able to make it. We lost, I think, 3 dealers were in Louisiana at the time and they couldn't come out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, prayers out to everybody in Louisiana. Sorry you couldn't make it out to the con. Hope everything's good back home.
Hey, but you know what, man? Y'all pre-registered. Either way, you helped supported the con. You contributed. Shout out. dicks out, whatever it takes. Harambe.
And you people that goes to the con and didn't support anything, fuck you guys. You guys are scum of the earth.
No,
Support
you're
your
not the
loves
scum.
the con.
We want people at the con. Somebody's got to be there to carry my luggage.
Yeah, but make sure to pay for your badge.
This is true. Make sure you buy a badge, unless you're in Geeks Forever.
Or too poor to afford one. Then you just stay home. You don't come.
This is true. If you're here's the thing though. If you're gonna go to an anime con or Comic Con, whatever, make sure you have enough money for a badge and a place to stay. Don't show up with only money for gas.
And food.
Both ways.
Or
Not
food.
even food. Because you'll see some of these people drinking water with sugar packets in it, and like they're living off of
Bread.
grass. They're picking berries out of that fake bush outside.
I remember times where I'll actually bring a cooler with just bread, cheese, and meat, and some mayonnaise and mustard, and be like, okay, this is our food for the next 3 days. But hey, it's better than nothing.
You come back to the room and he's already ate it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you bring you bring sandwich meat and you walk in there and there's that one roommate.
You can survive on just pizza.
I thought it was
bring,
snacks.
Everybody just bring $5 and then you'll
And it's
survive
as
on
soon
pizza.
as you leave the con and then all that food is gone and you get some real home cooked food, it's
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
missing it all your
Orgasm.
life. It's my
Oh,
God, real food, not junk.
where have you been all my life?
Okay, at Delta H, on Saturday for me, because I was a cosplay guest, it was the most busiest time, for me, because I'm doing I have to do the cosplay pre-judging and then the cosplay contest. So I only had an egg for breakfast in the morning, and I didn't eat until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And I had breakfast at 7 because I have to wake up early, get dressed, and do all this stuff. And so when nighttime came, I was like, oh God, I could just feel my stomach eating itself. I need to get some food. And I actually went to Outback Steakhouse and I just got those chicken fried steaks. I just want chicken fried steak. Yeah, and they had 2 big ones. And some mashed potatoes and some corn with some spices on it. It was delicious.
Girl, you're making my mouth water, damn it.
I look at that and I'm like, I'm going to
All right,
eat
podcast
this.
sketch. No.
I actually ate the entire thing. I was like, wow, how did this fit inside me?
At ACON 2013, we booked a hotel. It was the second hotel to ACON. It was their second main hotel. It was just a 3-minute walk.
The Marriott?
It was the Hilton, actually. So it was the one next to it. So they gave you free breakfast vouchers if you booked a room with them. So we got free breakfast buffet vouchers.
It's all you can eat.
Yes, but a buffet. So we go down there, man. Saturday morning, we got piles of food and we're stuffing our faces. And me and my friend look at it, man. I feel guilty because when you're at a con, what you're disgusted by, man. McDonald's makes me sick. It becomes a 5-star meal all of a sudden. Oh, McDouble, you
I missed you.
I missed you so. You are so delicious, but outside of the con, ugh.
This shit sucks. I'm not eating this shit.
I got food poisoning.
What was really nice is for the people who got the gold passes, the hotel with the dinners.
Yeah, I had that. It was so wonderful. It was awesome. I was like,
you get to have a dinner on Friday with all the guests, and you get brunch on Sunday, and
you just need to do the
all
cheap,
the guests are there.
You got to do the cheap anime unrated thing, man. If you want to have dinner with the guests, just buy a cheeseburger, run up there, eat it right next to them, be like, I had dinner with them.
The breakfast was really nice. I got to sit down with a lot of the cosplay guests and a voice actor as well too. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I was like, man, every single time I'm a guest and Delta H has definitely have supported me. I always feel like I'm a freaking queen every single time. I always have somebody there that's helping me, that's guiding me. I was never lost. I always had somebody with me the entire time, so I never felt lost or anything. So it was awesome. It was,
she does, because when I went there this weekend, she was pawning off her pictures to me. Go, buy a picture. Buy a picture.
I don't want to buy a picture.
Why?
Why?
We hang out every week.
Well, a lot of people were complaining about the crowd, I guess, but I mean, it was a
what was there to complain about though?
I guess people coming from other cons expecting to be a bigger crowd. My first Delta was in 2010, and then I went again in 2011. I haven't been since, and it was known. And people were complaining about the Homestucks, and I'm like, this has always been their con. Delta Con has always been a con full of a bunch of Homestuck cosplayers.
Not that many comparatively.
Back in the past,
Only
actually,
definitely has a lot more.
Actually, I have to agree with Oliver, it's really not been that much Homestuck. Well, based on when I was going, it was more Hitalia.
They've moved a lot of the Homestuckies were Italians at one point, and vice versa.
That's the thing about
they jump
bandwagons like
they jump fandoms.
I tried to get into Homestuck. I couldn't. I really
they
couldn't.
they changed bandwagons more than I changed my phone number.
Yeah. I think now they're Steven Universe fans.
Yeah, a lot of them are part of the Steve.
Yeah.
And they were a minute ago. They were not a minute ago, literally, but not too long ago. Weren't they also Gravity Falls fans?
And,
Yeah.
But that ended, so they had to jump on something. So a lot of Gravity Falls fans either went
they're
My
going
Little
to
Ponies or
Steven.
Steven Universe.
That's fine though. But I'm still a Gravity Falls fan because that show is really good.
I really like the Steven Universe, but like the fans, not all fans.
The majority of them.
There's sometimes there could be a lot of haters there, and like if the fans are so harsh to its creator to the point where the creator gets off of Twitter, you need to rethink what you're doing,
We're
man.
not even going to talk about the fans.
Okay. So we're going
it's
on a
crazy.
Steven Universe rant here.
Sorry. But I like the
So-
concept of Steven Universe. It really is a great concept.
What? We're going to cover that in a minute. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about Delta's crowd. So you say it looked like it's increased.
Yes.
SAKEKITTY.
Oh yeah.
Based on last year, would you say that like a 30%, 40%, 50, 100? What would you say?
I would at least say a good, at least 40. But for me, the way I see it, it seemed like a good 50.
Well, Mr. Staff member.
Well, 3 years ago we had 3,200 attendees.
That's on sales?
Yes, that's
Okay.
on sales. And last year we only had 1,100. It was a big drop because of the change of hotel, and it was right by school weekend. This one again was by school weekend, so we're going to be looking at the sales numbers this Saturday. It does look like we went up, but the question is how many of those were pre-reg and didn't get their badge. We're going to be looking at that.
And
How
then
many
the
people
who
borrowed badges? How many people stole badges? How many people...
And there's people that actually sometimes, like, some people will buy the badge at that time, then actually pre-rate. So you have to count in those as well too.
So-
but I'm not an expert.
I
at
have a
anything.
question though. So, do you count your 3-day badges as 3 separate people like certain other
No.
conventions? Okay.
It's a badge.
I'm not going to say the name. But yeah, I was wondering about
There's
that.
a lot of conventions that'll do, you know,
Shit.
3 days? Oh, that's 3 people.
Whoa.
Yeah, and some cons, I noticed some cons, there's some places they're actually like you have to buy 3 passes individually.
That's mostly Comic-Con and then Dragon... not Dragon Con, I'm sorry. PAX South.
Yeah,
Or
I
the
actually want
PAX.
to go. I want to go see PAX South as well. But yeah, to me,
No.
the way I see Delta H did increase.
Well, there are certain anime cons in Houston, not in other outskirt cities, but in Houston that do say, "Oh, we had 30,000 people," but they count their 3-day badges as 3 different people instead of just one person.
So
Yeah.
10,000 people.
So
Sure.
probably not even.
Yeah.
Probably like 10 people, and they're like, "Oh, we had 10,000." Us and our 5 fans showed up.
Custodians count.
Finally, you said something throughout. So, what did you think of the con? This is your first time going. Louder.
I liked it. I thought the only thing I would have added was more dealer room.
We did sort of adjust the dealer room size a little bit. We lost quite a few people in Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big
Oh,
problem.
I'm sorry. I had to stop you there because when I told him to pick up his voice, yeah, we lost quite a few. That's all I heard it as. Whoosh.
No, but hopefully those people in Louisiana who couldn't make it, hopefully they're doing.
Well, I wasn't expecting a lot of people from out of state to come
It's
in.
not a bad drive. It really isn't. It really isn't a bad drive.
You get to Galveston, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Right, but as much as this is the first time I've been back to Delta. I really enjoyed my experience there. We hosted 7 panels, and honestly, I had a good time there. And I don't have that many complaints. Overall, I thought it was really well done. I was very impressed with the setup. But I don't think Delta is at the level to where they're going to get a lot of out-of-state people.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised to find out that the cosplay guest who is part of our panel was from out of state.
Yeah.
It was two dealers. I went in the dealer's room Saturday afternoon, and I found that I was helping her set up and helping her set some things up in the dealer's room. She's from out of state. Her and another person were from Oklahoma, and they drove all the way out. That tickled my fancy. I was like, "Whoa, that's a long ass drive." She said, "No, it's not that bad."
How did they compensate you with a pee-pee touch?
They didn't compensate me with anything. They needed help, and I just volunteered.
Just look at it. So what
Yeah,
you
I
think?
think I know there's some people, when it comes to cons at Louisiana, there isn't like a lot of cons, so they actually come over here to do some sales and whatnot.
We definitely look for voice actor guests as ones that you haven't seen in state.
Yeah.
So if you've seen this guest 10 times in state, even though if it might be the best guest, we might not want to bring him. We might want to get somebody.
You know who you should bring in? You should bring in the original actor for Blue's Clues.
Or
I would buy a ticket for that.
No, you should bring in Mark Hamill. I'd buy a ticket for that.
The voice actress who did
We
Ladybug
would all buy a
was
ticket for
amazing.
that. Even him staff, I'll buy a ticket.
Not
I just want
him.
to see it.
He's Troy Baker. He wouldn't buy. He doesn't like Mark Hamill.
How did
Oh,
you
so
have-
El Chapo 2.
Question all
It's the
over.
Troy Baker
How did
fan.
you get
Yeah.
the voice actor for Ladybug? Because Ladybug, the series, is actually blowing up right now. That's
Yeah.
the next upcoming series. Like, if anybody wants to know what's coming up, it's Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Well,
That's
we
starting
work
to get
with
huge.
Sentai Filmworks. Sentai Filmworks, it's sort of co-owned, and one of the owners is friends with the con.
Have y'all given any Have y'all given any consideration to bringing Team 4-Star in?
Yes, we have, but again, they've been at a lot of cons.
They've been to all the cons.
Yeah, and there's just it's sort of being competing with the same guests as other larger conventions.
Plus, I heard they're hella
It doesn't-
expensive. I heard they're really pricey to hire.
They're really not.
No, because they have a
They mostly do it
Patreon
for-
now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because Little Karibo, Team 4-Star, they're having these Patreons because the reason this is what I'm assuming. I think is the reason why they might have been expensive is because they didn't set up a Patreon or they didn't have donations. Now they actually have donations to the point where they're like, we can actually go to these cons and it won't cost like so much
And-
money.
That makes sense.
However, they've also been limiting the cons that they will attend.
Yeah,
Because
well,
they've been not making much content and going to conventions, and that's not good for the fan.
Yeah.
A lot of besides them, there's a lot of guests that are willing to go to a con. They seem like they'd be expensive, but they're willing to go to a convention as long as you let them hawk their crap towards the crowd.
Yeah, Kamui Cosplay was wanting to come to our con, and she usually just does it for transport fees, but it was the same weekend as Gamescom.
Hey,
so,
man.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm throwing Geeks 5 Ever's hat in the name name in the hat for guests because I'm pretty sure by next year we'll have a good crowd.
Oh yeah.
Well, keep working.
I like the fact that you got like some voice actors that I didn't seen at most cons. So and that's why I was really happy about.
I can be a voice actor.
Anybody could be a voice actor with enough talent.
Yeah.
Or if you have the right character. Man, that character's just like your regular, normal speaking voice. Great, I have a career off
Hey,
of that.
who are you? I'm generic character in the background for Attack on Titan.
The last 2 episodes, max.
Not even 5 seconds. I'm sound effects guy number 4.
You'll be amazed that some of these voice actors, they actually started voice acting in hentai, but they go with a different alias name.
Yeah.
And because there's times where I hear some of the hentai,
Oh, speaking of
and I'm like, this
hentai.
sounds familiar.
Speaking of hentai, one of the contests for the cosplay dating game battle royale was a moaning contest,
Oh.
and it went the one girl who's really shy. Is and we're like, what the hell is that? It sounds like somebody's hitting you.
It sounded like she was trying to take a dump.
Yeah, I know. No, that's what I said. I'm like, why does it sound like you're trying to take a shit? And the other girl's like, I'm like, Jesus, you're lovely in bed, aren't you?
Those were great though. That really made a lot of people's experience. I heard nothing but great things.
And hopefully, I want cons, because I know some of them are going for more for a family friendly type of audience and everything. But like for you,
After 5.
they love like these adult panels because they're great and they bring in crowds.
Campfire stories are always fun. That's one panel.
Ours was pretty funny because we had all kinds of stories. Except, we had some, some of the panels we hosted, they're usually like big crowd draws and main event panels, and we had a good sized crowd for the con's attendance numbers. Mm-hmm. But instead of like it hurting my ego as much as it actually helped me because he was there, almost no one left the room during the cosplay dating game until the very end.
It helps if you keep it locked, man. Everyone was screaming, "Get out!"
Oh yeah, people were trying to get in, and the hotel staff had to let people in.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they stopped letting people
Yeah,
in
I didn't know
at the
because
same
we
time.
didn't know the doors locked. The doors are supposed to be closed because of the stuff that goes on in there.
Yeah, and that's perfectly understandable.
Now, apparently, the weekend before, the hotel had changed their keys, so they were having problems.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, because
Yeah.
for OniCon, it definitely gets to the point where, like, okay, so these cons, they want to have family-friendly cons, and they know how adult this panel is, but they turn the other cheek because they know it's going to draw a crowd.
I'm not gonna lie. If he's hosting a panel at 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, your kids or your underage teenagers should not be up and around that time. You should be in the hotel room relaxing. I mean, because if it's an adult panel and you're complaining about adult shenanigans and such language being used, it's like it's 12:30 at night. Why are you even there? Why are you there? Like, you should not be there.
There's been times where, like, a lot of the, I'm going to say it, teenagers that they tried to sneak into, like, I remember, like, they had hentai showings.
Yeah.
And then one teenager snuck in, and then the parents found out, and next thing you know, they're like, I can't believe you allowed my little girl to be in here. She's so innocent. And there's like,
If she was innocent, she wouldn't have been in here in the first place.
ruins it for everybody, and then now we don't have any, like, hentai fest or anything. And the thing is like, it draws in crowds like, oh, it's family friendly. And tell you the truth, like a good 90% of the time of the con, it is family friendly because there's dress codes, there's regulations. So, you're not going to see a lot of people walking around naked. But when it comes to, like, when it comes after, like, 11 or 12 o'clock, that's when the adult panels come in. And I'm like, honestly, your kids should not be walking around the hotel alone. They should be with you as a parent.
But that's the problem that we had with Delta H-Con.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we had bone to pick with Delta H-Con is because there weren't enough adult panels. You had Rocky Horror, you had Horror Con Stories wasn't 18 plus, that was 13 plus. There was the one with the guest, that was 18 plus. So it was like a handful of panels that were 18 plus.
Don't forget that no conventions actually organize the panels. It's up to people in the community to suggest these panel ideas, and
yes, and you're absolutely right. But
it's also the con can actually, like, not say, no, we don't want this
but
panel.
we didn't knife any panels that I know of.
No.
Oh, of course not.
No, because
if y'all didn't stop my panel, then y'all sure as hell weren't gonna stop anyone else's. We were reasonable. There are some stuff that happened in that panel we can't talk about.
That's true, but I do have some of it on video. Not gonna lie.
Oh God.
Oh God.
The strip battle though stole the show the entire weekend. Those two who thought the two grown men who are both Eisen wasn't that out of shape because my boy Kyle, he's not that out of shape, but the heavyset Hamataru sloth guy, he's definitely.
You wouldn't expect that from him.
No, he got naked though. And his boxers had holes in them. And I was like on the floor laughing. I had to stop him, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't get up. I can't stop.
We kind of lost track, but I think this year's cosplay contest we had 60 performances.
Oh.
Yeah, the cosplay contest was amazing, and I have a few things, good things, and in general, but there were some amazing cosplayers too. And then I didn't realize this until like the end of the day, which I feel really bad. Was that I went ahead and I gave my award because I have my own judges award to these two girls that did the cat returns. And she was in a ballroom gown, and he was the Baron, and it was so beautiful. I saw her before she went in there. She looked beautiful. She is beautiful. Like, you hear me? You are gorgeous. And I didn't know this.
She probably doesn't even watch the show.
She probably doesn't. But later on, but I was like, and they were so happy that I chose them, and I was like, oh, I have a fan that really likes me, and then they chose me. But it turned out in the Japanese festival, I took a picture of them while one was is Inuyasha, and the other one was the demon wolf guy.
Koga.
Koga, yes, Koga, and I actually took a picture of them fighting each other. I'm like, y'all look so beautiful and gorgeous. Yeah, well, and this is at the Japanese festival in Houston. So, and that was like months and months ago, and here they are. I did not recognize them whatsoever because they were so great in their costumes. I did not even recognize them.
The cosplay community is a small world. Like
Not anymore. It's okay.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
It's definitely getting
because it's growing more mainstream. The masses.
But
to the masses.
Yeah, but you gotta consider.
I am. You're hearing it here, folks, from Anime Unrated. Next year's cosplay contest at Delta H Con, I'm gonna win Best in Show. I'm totally gonna win.
But they were so great in their costumes, and so when I realized, like, I put 2 to 2 together, and I was like, wait a minute, those are the same girls I took pictures of, and they were awesome, and then that's why they were so happy. But I'm like, man, they did a great job. They totally deserved it as well. But there were some really awesome, like, beautiful costumes there. It was hard to choose.
What number is Akon up to?
20 something, I don't know.
Yeah.
25, 27, 50, 64.
They're still one of the biggest conventions.
Never been.
It is the oldest, longest running consecutive anime.
Texas.
A number.
Sorry, we had microphones got disconnected, so there might be a bit of a. Yeah, I can see it.
It's an audio
I can see it. There's an audio fuck up.
Okay.
Anyways, so Best in Show, man. I'm bringing the biggest cosplay I've ever made, Ultra Megazord. I'm gonna need help getting on that stage, though.
No, I'm gonna tell you now. Blackie-san is bringing in his Black Naruto Weebu character, complete with kunai.
You won't even make it to the stage because I'll jump your ass. You came to the wrong turf.
I'm just gonna wear a sexy costume.
Have you ever seen Ultra Zord?
No. I don't
Okay, have you ever seen Megazord?
Yes.
In Power Rangers, they fused the Megazord with the Dragon Zord on top.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
he's
then
like
they have
this. So he's originally like this wide, but then he's like this much wider.
And then they
he
bring in a
has
Brontosaurus.
what they call Titanus, and he turns into a tank. So he's literally got 3 pieces. So the cosplay itself will be about as wide as this table.
Wow. Yeah, you're gonna need help on that stage.
It probably will have to be assembled on. I'll probably have to sign up as a skit just to assemble it on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Because the assembling, just to Megazord by itself, it took 4 people to help me get up there. So I can't imagine with Ultra Zord.
I would like to see that
You can't put it
costume.
on
That
while you're
would
already
be
on stage.
amazing.
Yes, you can. If you do a skit.
By the way, here's to the community. If you're gonna do a cosplay skit or a cosplay walk-on, don't put stuff on the stage. Don't leave stuff behind you. It's very dangerous if you leave anything on stage. For anybody following up who has a mask on and can't see where they're going, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
So please, don't.
He knows what I'm talking
Don't
about.
have any props that you're throwing on the floor. Just keep the stage clean.
They be so in
Help
the
me
moment
make
that
it.
They
Yeah.
do it a lot of the time.
Yeah,
They do that at Japan.
There were some
Fest
pretty
everywhere.
good skits this
I
year.
didn't get
Next
to
year
see
we'll
it.
sign up
Oh
for our
my
own
God.
skit. Next year we'll sign up for our for the Goku Dragon Ball Z one. What did my wife say? Nag 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 nag. Actually, we're doing it for our own. Oh God, I just gave away our idea. Anyways, I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, so okay, so Nicoletta keeps looking. Nicoletta, goddammit.
Saki.
So SAKEKITTY keeps looking at her watch.
Yes.
So we're gonna start.
Wrapping it up.
No, not wrapping it up, but at least for her.
For me, because like I have some other things to do tomorrow.
So pros, cons?
So she has to adult tomorrow.
I have to adult tomorrow. I don't want to adult, but I have to
Always
adult.
fun.
Adulting sucks.
So let's talk about everyone's pros and cons of the con.
Well, for me, I really don't have a lot to say. Nothing negative about it.
Okay, let's hear from somebody that's not biased.
I'm not biased. The only things that kind of like I want to change when it came to like the cosplay contest is that they should actually have like numbers on the sheets and the badges so like people don't forget about them, because I think some people were forgetting about their numbers and stuff like that. But the numbers really did help me for the judging.
There you go. You can talk to him and he can take it up with the cosplay director.
So hopefully that will be implied on that. Also, the dealer's room was actually pretty big. I don't really have much to say, when it came to a lot about, the panels were great. I had a fun time doing the panels. That's the only thing, kind of nags me about the cosplay contest. Real quick.
Hey, so
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, and so, with the whole cosplay contest, hopefully they'll replace the number system. And I also seen some other cosplayers, or conventions, that they're starting to do, you have to show your progress pictures. And some people are calling, oh, that's so harsh, and they shouldn't be doing that, or I don't take pictures, and why should I take pictures of of the progress? And I'm like, well, because there's people that lie, and I'm not saying that everyone are liars or anything, because when I do judging, I'm like, when you say that you did it, I'm assuming that you do it. But I think hopefully next time, there should be maybe show us 5 progress pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm just I just want to show me something that
There's the
you've
UPS
done
box that
and
he
everything.
got it out of.
Yeah.
Excuse me, did you make this cosplay, sir?
Yes.
Why does it have a label that says "Made in China"?
Oh, that's my
That's my
put
cosplay
that-
name.
That's my-
Made in China.
See, and I like to piggyback off of that one because, in my opinion, there's no shame if you buy yours.
There's no shame.
But
There's no shame.
it's whenever you blatantly lie, especially if somebody commissions it, because then you are technically a thief.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that in it was
The
a couple.
one-
It's a couple of me and cosplayers. We were talking about that, and then there's sometimes that they will pay commissioners not to show progress and tell them, "Can I take credit if I pay you a little extra money?" And commissioners will do that.
They'll do it. They're like, okay.
They will.
do it.
They if you pay me
Money.
extra $100, I will keep my mouth shut.
I wouldn't, because then that would cost me an extra customer. That could. Oh, you paid me $100, but I can make probably $200 from whoever goes ahead and whenever they give me the
Yeah, but
credit
that's
for
not
it.
not everyone.
Money
thinks
matters.
so. Money,
I mean, you
money
don't know.
really, really matters.
For those of you wondering
I
who's
will
talking in the
street
background, that's Miss Lady Goth. She's this is her house.
She's
I
a
own this
cosplayer.
place.
She's a
They're
cosplayer.
like, why are
too.
y'all in my house?
I know, right? But
Anyway.
Tell me it was your house.
I take street
My
cred over the whole stupid
Money
cash
bills,
thing. Yeah, because if I make something, I want people.
She's got a
to
point though,
know
because if
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
I'm
credit
like
will
the
lead to
same
more
way.
business if people like your product.
Touche.
So
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
and that's something that I kind of want to hopefully imply in that. I don't know if it's going to cause problems or issues, but I'm actually seeing a lot of conventions
Triggered.
that are going to start doing this
Oh yeah, it's
now.
gonna cause problems. Best believe it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
it's-
people that's gonna
Triggered.
be upset about
Yeah,
it. They're
and-
not gonna do it. I'm not gonna compete in that cosplay contest. That's stupid. Why should I have to blah 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 and tangent about?
Well, it's like a job. It's like, hey, I'm a doctor, or well, show me your degree. I don't have to show my degree. You just need to know that I am a doctor, and it's just
Yeah,
kind of
you know what, for the
I need a little
record,
bit of proof.
I've asked Dr. Phil many times for his
Yeah.
degree, and he has yet to email me back.
I'm a doctor. But yeah, and then that's like hopefully that will maybe imply or slowly imply. I'm not asking for like hundreds of pictures. Just show me like a good 5 or something.
Or at least
that
you with the
progress.
material.
Yeah, just take a picture of yourself. Be like, here's my material. Just show some boot pic, and I'm like, okay.
Bull crap.
if it's bull crap.
Put
Or
some
like
effort in
hell,
it.
you just having a bunch of scraps of fabric.
Or like if your
around
cosplay
you.
has mistakes on him, show him the mistakes. Like,
Yeah, if you have
Yeah, these are
mistakes.
better,
Because if you have mistakes, I'm like, okay, so you're learning, because some people are like, oh, it's nice and clean, and I'm like, not even sometimes even the best sewers, they do make mistakes.
Everyone does. We're all
Yeah,
I
like,
don't
we do
have
make
progress
mistakes.
pictures,
We're only human.
but I show them
Oh, yeah.
the full costume, show
Yeah,
step by step.
but
like
other
that.
than that,
Jesse, I'm
that's
pretty
just
sure.
my.
I think you bought that soapbox.
But that's just like my opinion of it. But other than that, the dealer's room was pretty good. I got to meet people. I met beautiful cosplayers. I would like to see more male cosplayers. I'm telling you, male cosplayers.
I
You
don't
need to
know.
come out.
Y'all, it's too much of a woman-dominated thing.
Yeah,
we
it is.
can't compete. Y'all always win.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I've
I'm
been
sorry.
going almost
But
6
Sakekitty,
years.
I
but-
want to see some males.
I'm sorry,
Hey.
but when it comes to cosplayers, I'm not gonna follow the booty of a man for 10 minutes like I
I'll
did
follow
that
the
once.
booty of a man.
Best in show was male.
I want a
Yeah,
man's butt.
I know who he was.
No,
too,
guys
Rob.
do win a lot just as much as girls. It's just that people don't care as much.
Yeah, and that's sad but true.
They never
but,
win
But I do
in a contest.
that.
focus on the
Right here?
boobs. But yeah, but that's my saying. But other than that, I still had a really good time and more adult content. But yeah, but that's me, and I'm gonna head on out because I gotta do adult things.
Yeah, go adult. Thank
Adult
you,
turn. Thank
Miss SAKEKITTY, for being on the
No.
mic.
Thank you. If you want to see me, just type in SAKEKITTY and all the boob pics will be there.
Oh, yes.
Done.
Well,
Oh,
done.
definitely.
Everybody's already whipped out the phones.
Yeah, phones are getting whipped.
I already follow you.
We'll post a link to her Facebook page.
She's now trending on Twitter.
Right, she got trending on
The number one hashtag boobs. Boobs out for Harambe.
Hey, I better be a part of that too. Just saying.
Jesus.
Her boobs are bigger than mine.
Sizes and everything.
So,
You have a good one. Be safe.
continue after SAKEKITTY left off. So, as we're going to try to get an answer out of you that's a non-biased answer. Because you're staff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as easy for you to think of any complaints. We're not trying to dock the con, but at the same, we wanted to improve.
Criticism is key.
So definitely let us, what are your pros and cons, and what do you rate the con?
Well, my pros, everything ran strangely smoothly. You know, we're all knocking on wood and staff going.
That's not wood. That's
The
not wood.
frame of it's wood. Is
That's
that better?
not wood either. You want some wood?
Okay,
to knock
ow,
on?
ow. There we go.
God, you are one serious-looking Mexican.
What? Are you afraid of El Chapo here?
No.
Todo
it's
está
just-
bien, no te
He
preocupes.
should be. He
No,
owes me
it's just
money.
not only does he look serious, but he is one seriously looking serious Mexican. If that makes sense.
But yeah,
You're gonna snap somebody's neck just
cosplay
You look like you're
contest.
upset.
Yeah, mainly the two guys that owe me money.
These two.
I'm sorry, El
And
Chapo.
Geeks 5 Ever does not condone any violence of the sort.
But El Chapo does.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so
Things that ran really well. The cosplay contest ran surprisingly well. That was well organized. Overall, I can say it was a really good experience at the convention. Now, for my cons, I did the Wonders of Wonderland fashion show. I really was expecting a lot more attendees to show up. Now, for the Wonders of Wonderland show, I was really expecting a lot more people to show up in the community and wanted to check out actual fashion designers. Right now at the school, Lady Goth is there. We have, 10, 20 cosplayers showing up?
For the school.
Yeah.
In my class, one of my classes alone, I have about 4 cosplayers in my class. She's one of the cosplayers that I know from my school. She goes to almost every single one of my classes.
But yeah, Wonderland, the designer showed off their stuff, but nobody saw it. And overall, every year at Delta HCon, the biggest fault is nobody's there. We need more attendees.
well, not to toot my own horn, but as part of your not part of Delta HCon's public relations, we have taken upon ourselves to help out with advertising, getting the word out. Just our group alone, 14 people in our group. Next year, I can probably get 30 or more.
Yeah, that's good. Other things that were a little bit disappointing or bad, definitely, it's kind of sad to see a big stack of pre-reg not come. 500 people don't show up.
Wow.
It's gonna affect the way
You got something to say, Miss Lady Death Goth, whatever?
Oh, actually, that would be a really nice title. Maybe I should change it.
Lady Death Goth.
Hey, that does sound a little metal, but I think also the biggest part is whenever it was timed, because it's usually in July, right, or June or July. So it's just around the time whenever most people are getting ready to go to school. I
Yeah.
know whenever I was in high school, my parents didn't like me going to a con right before school
But
started.
Yeah.
that brings me up to one of my earlier points before we started the podcast. Maybe Delta HCon should start catering to a much older demographic rather than keep it to the same, because Delta HCon has always kind of centered itself around the much younger teen, preteen, tweens, if you would.
That is the con chair's preference. As a lot of the staff, we do kind of want to aim the con a little bit older. We're working to it.
Well, yes, that is the con chair's preference, but
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely
There's
if
some
it
market
works,
there.
it works. But at the same time, these kids' parents are gonna ditch out the money where a lot of a lot of the people that we know are poor as shit. And so, you know, they're not even going to buy a badge. They're just going to go and sneak in when nobody's looking.
And that's why we have plenty of security. We have a good, 20 members on security.
That's it?
Hey, 20 rooms. You got a member of security in each one of them.
So you have, half a person? Because you also had security for your guests, so...
Everything was very well organized. We didn't have any
I definitely thought it was impressive that about 95% of the panels all started on time.
Yeah, and you know, it's usually more having to track down the guests and be like, "Hey, you have a panel right now." Really? Yes.
I did start late a few times. That's because the guests or the panelists beforehand would
overrun.
They would overrun, or they would I would ask them, "Hey, do you mind ending 10 minutes early?" "Oh, no, it's fine. It's been 2 minutes over, and I haven't set up yet."
Yeah. Programming gets tricky, and it's all panelists. Panelists are always volunteers at conventions.
So, so speaking on a panelist point of, based on, do you think that Delta HCon could use more, or they're good with the number they have right now?
We need more panelists. We need more panels. So
What
you're out there,
what kind of panel? I'm asking so in case anyone listening wants to submit a panel.
Personally, I think we want a more varied midnight selection. So definitely have some adult panels. You know, have some fun with it. But always, we love craftsmanship panels. We are very much a cosplay-centered con. Just a little bit of everything, you know. We tend to look at everybody's suggestion on the panel, so just if you got an idea, show up.
I have a suggestion, and this is my preference only. This is just my preference, and it seems to work. I would suggest more comedy-based panels because comedy-based tend to draw more people. That and they tend to retain most of its audience, rather like a 101 or ask a cosplayer or cosplaying craftsman. They do have a good sized crowd, but then
we lost a few of our normal comedy panelists last year because we did have a big drop in attendance last year due to being school opening weekend. That wasn't too friendly.
Well, hell, Geeks 5 Ever will sign up for a ton of comedy panels. Even if nobody shows up, we were all just for our cosplay stories. At first, nobody showed up for the first 20 minutes, so we kind of just sat there and talked shit to each other.
Sunday after 3, the convention was mostly empty just because I had to start college Monday. So, yeah.
Well, people are exhausted. Their money's gone. They're ready to go home.
Yeah, and most cons usually empty out the second the checkout time is. So.
Yeah, because you got nowhere to put your stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And we live in Texas, so if you got Warbler, you can't put that in your car; it'll melt.
Yeah, no. My Power Ranger stuff, the toys, the morphers, they'll melt, they'll warp the plastic that's around it if it stays in the sun too long. So I have to take it home right away.
Yeah, it must be nice to live in a convention area where it doesn't get above 80 degrees and you can use Sintra as a cosplay item. But here in Texas, even Warbler, which is one of the warmer thermoplastics, it will melt.
Any last remarks you have about the con? What would you score it overall?
Just attendance really lowers it in my book, so I would have rated it a 7.
Okay, let's get some words from Blackest Sound.
So, only problems I had with the con was, like he said earlier, probably the attendance. Little micromanaging. I think better management of the panels and what was going on. The rave was not lit. The rave was not
lit. So for us old folk, whoa, you lost me there with your hip young lingo, son.
I heard lit mean? Lit means that it wasn't what was up. It wasn't cool because I guess not enough.
It's
people
not what's
up.
happening.
It's not the end thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But no, for real. I really do believe. I heard that the formal was a lot better than the rave was, and the rave is supposed to be the main attraction on at least a Friday night, at least because all the top 40 and the main music's going in there. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it, and a lot of people are in the gaming room. I went in the gaming room because of that. So, but besides that, other than the people not showing up to the con in general for various reasons, I think word of mouth and advertisement be a little bit better. I rated about a 6 only because of the attendance. There wasn't any drama, especially as much as like the bigger cons and
Now-
the anime conventions.
I'm going to stop you right there. Before any of the Delta H Con staff members, other staff members get mad about the scoring, remember, 6 isn't bad. It's not a bad score. It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, you could have 60,000 members come up to yours in February, and it can be rated a 3.
Oh yeah,
your panel start 2-3 hours later.
60,000 people show up to your convention. Find out half the guests aren't arriving. Find out that you spent $2,500 for nothing. Go home and then rate it a 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it can be definitely a lot better. But
So-
that's just my unbiased opinion.
All right. So overall, I think that damn Super Chris making all that damn noise.
Well, you have to see a Coca-Cola.
What did you rate the con, Super Chris?
2 out of 5. 6.
6. He said 6. 6.
No.
What'd you rate it,
Say another
Lady
6.
Death Goth?
Say another 6.
Lady Death. Whatever. Anyways.
Lady Goth Death. What do you prefer?
Lady Goth works for right now.
Lady Death.
That works. I like that.
Lady Death.
Okay, out of what, like 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually give it like a 7.8.
What does she know? She was drunk the whole time.
I wasn't drunk the whole time. Only from 8 p.m.
Didn't she call?
to like
Didn't you
4
call
a.m.
him Black Sonic?
Yeah, and then I called Black Sonic, Jesus.
Blackies.
And then I called and then I called my 2 friends who are girls. I kept calling them each other's names, so it was really funny.
Everyone gets his name right though. El Chapo. El Chapo.
Disclaimer: I'm not really El Chapo, so don't swap me, please.
Yeah, don't swat me, please.
What are you talking about? There's a guy outside the door with a briefcase full of money. Hey, Jefe, I got your money.
No, watch all of a sudden like a SWAT team comes in and like.
I'm not gonna say no.
Okay,
The
Senor
real El
Guzman.
Chapo wants to do business with you now. I heard you're good in the game. You on Houston. Let's do business. You're like, what the hell?
Sí, Señor Guzman. Lo que usted diga, Señor Guzman.
Damn, Oliver went super Mexican over here.
He did.
¿Qué?
I look adorable with actually short hair.
What?
Sorry.
What?
No one can see you.
I know.
You say you look like Ashley?
No. Ew.
So
Which mode?
overall, God. So overall, I enjoyed the con. It's been a few years since I've been there. The last time I was there was at Stud U of H. I thought the attendance was a major increase from the last time I was there. I don't know from last year or the year before. Really can't speak for those years, but when I was there, man, Friday morning was the attendance Saturday night. Which he's like, man, holy hell.
Hell, we got a drunk in our room somewhere, nigga. I was all on that.
No, there were more people in our hotel room.
There was 5 people down on that floor.
No, but overall, I thought all the panels, the fact that the panels all started on time was really good. I did have a problem with the rave because they're supposed to play music that maybe it's not so much the music's fault. I felt like I couldn't dance or get into the rhythm of the music and then at the same time there were a bunch of people in a circle bouncing balloons at each other like it's a middle school Valentine's Day dance.
People dance at raves. That's the whole point of it. People dance.
Well, I mean, even if if you're not gonna do a rave anymore, at least do a dance, a formal dance, do something. If not, then do a concert. Under Subsidence is willing to come to Delta HCon, and they are badass. They definitely rock. They're metal, but metal can work. There's a lot of J-pop. So I mean, overall, if you want to, we were talking about this earlier. Bring in a band, man, because bands work. They actually do work. People will go to them. They'll jump. It doesn't matter if you like the music or not. You always want to get into it, man. That's what some cons do. Need a concert or some kind of dance or something to help keep it afloat, because it is an attraction. That's what helps attract people. I have to say though, I would start, and I have to say this about all conventions. I would start doing away with the ballroom formal dances, because they just don't work. I'm sorry for the people that love the ballroom dances, but when everyone gets all dressed and swagged out just to be in there for 15 minutes and then leave because you think it sucked. They go in there, they're all decked out, they look nice, they're all looking fly, and then they stand in line longer than they're actually in the damn dance.
People only care about that EDM and that dubstep and that house
The
music.
Skrillex, the skillet or whatever the hell is
Nobody
only
care about
care about the
Skrillex
rave.
no more, nigga. That shit's been
They
dead
get
for
hyped up
years.
about the rave. That's why that shit.
Skrillex
People
is
motherfucking
opening
E
for Guns
and that
N'
water
Roses.
and motherfucking acid and shit, and people be tripping and shit.
Why?
That's what people.
That's
go
what I'm
to.
saying. If that's a rave, then don't do a rave. Do a dance. Do something.
Guns N' Roses was desperately the money.
But
If you don't want to do a rave because of the drugs, substance is always there, then do a dance. Do something. Do a concert. But the formals just don't work anymore. I'm serious. We showed up for like the second hour, and there were more people in the line waiting for the damn dance than there were still in the dance.
and that happens at all formals.
That's every
They
formal.
empty out and
That didn't
15
happen
minutes.
at our prom though.
I usually stay for like 5 hours
So
or so.
Sarah, if you're listening, hint, hint, wink, wink. Prom. The prom was fun. It worked.
Long story short, Matsuri and Onikan are better.
There are a lot of people with kids now because I played Earth Angel. Not you. Well, you got a cat.
definitely
And you got us.
we
so.
focus on our staff, making sure we have the best staff possible. We try to bring in as
And
many
I will
volunteers.
praise Delta HCon for that because y'all had a really good staff. I applaud y'all for that. The staff was easy to work with. I got answers right away
Y'all
whenever
wasn't
I needed
assholes.
something.
Y'all wasn't overbearing
Yeah,
assholes.
nobody was like, oh, well, you know what?
We did have to.
You had
pick out-
something, Lady Deathgoth?
I actually do have something on mention with the staff. I would like to also thank the security staff because there was this one guy who had previously sexually assaulted one of my friends, and the guy has
You can cuss.
repetitively harassed her at other conventions. And this con, he actually approached and was like, "Hey, remember me?" And like he was obviously like lingering around. So we finally went ahead and we had the staff member who contacted this individual, and they got everything squared away. We weren't blamed. There was no victim blaming. It was basically, hey, if it happens, like as long as you guys don't instigate it, if the guy shows up and harasses you guys again, let me know, because then we will take away his pass and kick him out of the convention. And that's how it should be handled. And I was very, very impressed because the guy always made sure to check up on us and made sure that, everything was going great.
And I don't know who this guy is. I honestly, and I'm not trying
I
to
don't know who the guy is.
I don't know
either.
who the guy is, honestly. Like, I'm not doing it for liability reasons. I honestly don't know. But it sounds like one of those guys that kind of walk up behind a girl, sneak up with his 30 megapixel, 1000 megapixel camera in 3D and 4D and 5D, all that bullshit. Walks up, lifts up her skirt, takes a real quick picture, and then runs. Hee 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 hee.
That's basically the general gist of how creepy this guy is. Because it wasn't just us; he was being very, very blatant.
And you know what? We will talk about that in the Creepers, the second Creepers 2 podcast that we're doing pretty soon. Because we got Lightsy, who wants to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works. Definitely, I enjoyed Delta HCon for what it was. I thought there could have been some major improvements. That's me actually coughing. The rave.
I look forward to next year. I hope it improves vastly.
Yes. Better advertising for the con. Well, that's why, Geeks 5 Ever is going to help out a little. The panels, definitely, more comedy-based panels. I have nothing against cosplay panels. But, you want to enjoy a few laughs while you're at the con.
Yeah.
Plenty of those.
More El Chapo-based panels, we need those.
We need more Cholo Poo panels.
I gotta say, the one thing is I hear every year is I go out and I sort of tour at conventions looking for people to come, and they always hear the one thing: we don't want to go to Delta H because nobody's there. Well, you're somebody, right? And if you come, somebody will be there, and then all your friends will be like, "Oh, I'll go because my friend is there," and before you realize it, there'll be 30 people come just around you, and you'll have a great time. Any con that I've had one friend at is 1,000 times better than one that I don't know anybody at.
Well, here's the thing, man. We actually attracted some people that weren't going to go to the con because, like, hey, you should come to Delta. Well, it's more of a gathering at the park than a con. Well, let me tell you something. We're gonna be there, and we're hosting cosplay dating game battle royale. Oh, you are? Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna go now. And they went. Some of them missed the panel because they were in the formal or because the formal. That's the thing about our panel though. We had to collide with the formal, even though we had more people towards the end of the formal, which always tends to happen. But we also had to complete with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is normal. We don't always beat Rocky Horror, but we definitely do better than most of the other panels. And here's the thing. Overall, I have to give it like a 7.5. The reason why my pros and cons, Jesus Christ. Anyways, he showed me a picture. I wish I had seen it. My cons were the cons of the con. Were the attendance number. I thought that based on what I had heard, I thought it could have been a little bit better. I thought it was really good, but then again, I hadn't been there for a couple of years, so I thought I'm just making attendance on the panels. I wish they had advertised the panels a little bit better. Or let us advertise. Maybe I should start advertising my own panels.
That's really up to the panelists.
So the lack of, I mean, I thought there was a good number of panels, but I wanted more adult-oriented panels. So that's definitely something that played a major factor into it.
Just remember, this is a sub-13 con usually.
Well, you gotta cater to the adults too, because the adults are gonna always want to attend Ask a Nation cosplay and hear about the cosplayer's sexual orientation while in costume.
Especially if they identify as more than one thing.
If they identify as a jar of mayonnaise. Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick.
Not only that, but we are adults. We have more money. We're gonna spend more money.
Well, duh, you spent more money in the dealer's room than you were supposed to.
Not
No, I spent $22. That was my allowance.
Whoa. You know what we could have done with $22? Gotten $22 worth of cheeseburgers.
I was just about to say they get $22 worth of hot and spicy in McDonald's.
True, that's true.
Anyway, so yeah, I definitely give it a 7.5. That is, like I said, the rave had a major thing to do with it. The formal could have been a little bit better. I know Chris did a really good job. He did based on request. Nothing against him. I didn't like the fact there were 2 cosplay dating games.
What?
There were 2. There was a 13 plus and there was an 18 plus, and we were 18 plus. We try to cater to the adults. There needs to be more adult entertainment at night, because you know what? Even if it's teenagers and kids showing up, their parents are still there. Their parents aren't super old. They like to be entertained. They want to see how fun things to do. Rocky Horror is fine.
We had a good.
And I'm not asking for hentai or yuri or yaoi.
But I'm just saying, we had a very good group that helped us out for the younger kids. Con moms. This group comes up and it tries to help everybody stay away from creepers. It tries to help any kids that need a ride home. These ladies show up at the conventions and they help out everybody. Really got to support con moms. They were great. I gotta give a shout out to all the groups that showed up. I mean, your group was amazing. We needed you for paneling. That was good.
I felt like we could have done more.
Yeah.
I felt like, because I had 5 or 6 panels on Friday and I had 2 on Saturday, and because I had that large gap of time, I had literally nothing to do during the convention. Because I don't go to conventions and walk around and do much anymore. Because we have Geeks 5 Ever, I got to go around and take pictures and video and do all this stuff. But before, I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm nothing against other panelists. I don't like to attend other people's panels because I have to prep for mine, because mine take a lot of prep, because we have a lot of stuff for display. But overall, I enjoyed it. We look forward to coming back next year if Sarah and the other staff members will have us back.
Yeah.
Definitely. We want to do more. Maybe advertise, host a contest or 2 with Delta H-Con. And especially because we have other podcasts with other cons in Texas. Like, I'm announcing it right now. I'm probably not supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and announce it during this podcast. We just finally scheduled. We're in the scheduling phases, but we finally booked RealmsCon to be on a future podcast with us.
Nice.
So we definitely got RealmsCon in. So Geeks 5 Ever is growing. For all the people that doubted us at first, too bad for them, because they're no longer part of this thing that is expanding. It is definitely gaining awareness. People at Delta H-Con had actually heard of us.
Chris Cruz will be on the show next week, guys, so stay tuned to hear from his side of the
I
story.
wish you hadn't said his name. Anyways, edit out. Anyways, you're probably wondering why there was a skip. Jackass. Anyways, damn. Such ladylike.
I know, Oliver. Gosh.
Anyway, so any last comments or words you'd like to say to the people listening?
Well,
All you motherfuckers that ain't go to Delta H this year need to go fucking next year.
That's right.
Bitch-ass motherfuckers.
Y'all missed it. We were dicks out for Harambe, and for the ladies, we were tits out for Harambe.
Harambe.
Hell yeah.
Whatever. During
Harambe.
Kwanzaa, it's the same shit. Harambe.
That's actually a Swahilian word for get together and let's do this shit.
Exactly.
I'm not even joking.
But it's the same fucking. It's spelled the same way.
So when you go Harambe, that's actually meaning some shit. Let's get
Yeah,
together. Let's do
you
this shit.
yell it during Kwanzaa.
You so fucking dumb.
I didn't even know that.
You actually yell it during Kwanzaa.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
They even did an episode on Boondocks about it. Harambe!
Oh, that's
Harambe!
right. Fucking Tom did that shit.
Yeah. No, it was the teacher. The white teacher was culturally
Oh,
sensitive.
that's right.
Harambe! He like, Huey, join us. It's Kwanzaa.
And he was like,
The
I
whole
have
class
no
was
part.
looking at him like,
Should we do this? Can we do
any,
this?
Was he the only black kid in the school?
any, so you got nothing? You got nothing?
Oh,
Any,
I'm definitely just wishing for everybody to show up next year. The next year's dates will be July 14th to the 16th.
Much better date.
you heard that, folks?
So,
Yeah, let me turn.
if you're not doing summer school,
You heard it
Please
here,
come to
folks. Delta H-Con, July 14th through the 17th, here in Houston, Texas, at the same hotel that...
16th.
I'm sorry, the 16th.
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh,
we're
it's a
not
4-day
doing
con. It's a 4-day con. Book your
No,
room for
no.
4 days. No, don't do that. 14th through the 16th at the same hotel, the JW Marriott. You can go right now to deltahcon.com to check
It's
out
not
all...
the JW. Isn't it the Way Station?
I don't care. I'm probably sending people to the wrong hotel. That's probably what happened to all your Louisiana pre-registrations. Where's the con?
I got to tell you, in a con, it's very hard for people to understand. Yeah, we moved. So
It's got more space.
it is a very good location.
More space for dicks out for Harambe.
But yeah, the West Chase Marriott, I think, is 2900 Briar Park Drive. It is a wonderful location. They used to do Fiesta Equestria. They used to do Onicon. If you haven't seen it, come check us out, man.
Yeah, next year we got less than a year actually, less than a whole year. So Miss Lady Deathgoth, Miss Lady Deathgoth.
I think my name's just gonna keep changing.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be Lady Deathgoth.
Oh,
Senior God.
No, not Lady Deathgoth, Lady Death God.
Death God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what?
Do you have any last things you want to say before we end the podcast? Anything about Delta or the people?
I do definitely agree that there should be a little bit more interesting panels, and none of this. Oh, let's date or find ask a country kind of stuff. I'm sorry, but let's pick some newer stuff because that's been.
I got an idea for
like
a panel.
how old?
Has played that out.
I got an idea for a panel.
Yeah.
We'll get him in one. Let's ask a black man.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, do you like cornbread?
Actually, you want to know what? I'm not gonna lie.
That's offensive.
There should be. I did like the cosplay positive panel. There should be more of that because I do feel like more people are pressured to do cosplays because of their race rather than because
we
of
are
the fact
going to
that
do
they
a
like
podcast
them.
about cosplay equality and cosplay.
But I think that I did like that. I'm just saying that they should keep that for Delta because that was nice seeing that, and that more cons should actually have that.
Okay, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, disclaimer again. I am not El Chapo, so please do not swap my ass.
You heard it from the Mexican himself.
Si, Senor Guzman.
For the FBI listening, he is not El Chapo.
Because El Chapo would not say that.
Bullshit. He's totally at the front door with a truckload of money, willing to do business with you. He's like, let me sell money, let me sell drugs in your turf. You're like, okay, here, have this truckload of money. All you have to do is say okay. He like, you don't actually own the city. He's just like, he just got your permission. So, Black Sound, you got any last things you want to say before we end it?
Everything I said was pretty much it.
He said something about cornbread and fried chicken. That's all I heard.
I do gotta say, turn up with the modern suggestions. We have Hitalia because we've had the same group for a while. But if you guys got new anime, keep watching. Keep
Nothing
coming.
against the Hitalia people.
It's just that they need to maybe do spice it up a little bit, or maybe do more stuff. I mean, maybe they have the Pokemon cosplay chest. Maybe
That
why
was
don't they
fun.
try do something,
Oh,
like
forgot-
games, like actual games?
Forgot to mention the hashtag DH Poke Hunt, where all the staff were Pokemon. And you had to
By
take
the
pictures of
way,
them. That was fun.
you're all welcome because I had actually approached Sarah about that.
Oh,
I'm
good.
like, hey, Sarah, did you know there's a Pokemon stop at Delta HCon? And she's like, what? So she looked it up and she thought it was a really good idea to start dropping
But-
lures and do all that kind of stuff.
Now, we did it, and I was Taurus, Electrobuzz, and Slowpoke, going backwards, on the weekend, and we had somebody win a, what was it, DS, one of the Pokemon DSs. So, we like that. We're definitely doing that again. It was fun. Well, whatever new thing is.
I think it's funny you were Tauros. I'm just saying that.
And Slowpoke.
I liked how
You know what would have been funny if you would have been that cactus Pokemon with the sombrero?
Cat turn.
Yeah.
I like how the guy who was one of the staff, the security guys, his name was Goose. His badge name was Goose, and his Pokemon was a Psyduck.
Wait,
that
Super
was
Chris.
funny.
Super Chris, do you have any last things you want to say about Delta or about everyone before we call it quits?
I thought they had some really nice artists there. They needed to have their work a little spread out better, but that was their doing, nothing to do with the convention. Because they had some really, really nice work, especially that bead art. They had that Street Fighter, a large Street Fighter scene, and it was pretty cool.
We've also had problems with the hotel giving us last year. It told us completely different dimension for the dealer's room that it really was.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had to measure it ourselves and be like, okay, dealers, this is the actual size of the room. Don't trust what the hotel is telling you.
Yeah.
And this year the tables were smaller, so that's probably why the dealers had.
It did seem a little cramped, but overall they had some really good artists. Before we keep saying we're gonna end, but like I would like to encourage everyone to sign up for panels. I know it can be a little scary. Maybe my panel might not get accepted. Maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe nobody will show up. You never know. You sign up for your panel. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen? It's approved.
You're
You sign up
forever banned for conventions.
You're forever banned from all conventions because you decided to send a picture of your penis to all the female cosplayers.
Good love.
Yeah, that's not a
and
panel.
other
Don't do
What?
that as a panel.
Make sure you go to deltahcon.com
So you don't get kicked
and
out if
you
you
know
send it to mail?
to register for your panels and also pre-register for next year, July 14th through the 16th of 2017. The same hotel as this year. I'm pretty sure there's a discount code for pre-registering early.
It's probably not going to be up at the moment. I
Well,
think
probably
after
not yet.
Saturday
Give it a
we'll
couple
adjust
months. Give it a couple
Yeah.
months. But definitely, you want to start preparing for that early.
Yeah, put it aside in your budget.
It doesn't matter what the panel is: comedy, cosplay, not licking people 101, or licking doorknobs on another planet illegal 101.
I was gonna say, all the people who do
Lick
cosplay,
it.
No wonder y'all panels suck.
all the people who do cosplaying, I know a lot of you. I follow a lot of you on Facebook. Everybody and anybody can cosplay. So I mean, some of us want to actually see you have your own panels. I mean, don't.
Well, okay, I don't want to see 100 cosplay panels. If you can coordinate,
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like have a nice I know a lot of people who do really, really good props. Maybe have a props 101.
We had Props 101.
Well,
Titan actually did. We
I
didn't
mean,
mention
more
Titan
people.
cosplay, but he's a wonderful cosplayer that makes an amazing cable. He showed up, and for $5, you could get a mat, and he taught you how to make an EVA foam gauntlet. It was a really good.
well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We're gonna end it there.
Okay.
I'm cutting it off. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. This is Delta HCon recap. Everyone here gave their thoughts and opinions on Delta HCon, the pros and cons. Overall, we did love the convention. We look forward to coming back next year. Make sure you go to deltahcon.com to check out the details for the website for the convention coming next year. Hopefully, the convention information will be up soon if it's not already up, but it'll probably be up in a couple months. You can register for the convention at deltahcon.com. You can also submit panels. Remember, it doesn't matter what ideas you have for panels. Go ahead and submit them because you never know if it's going to get approved or not.
Give ideas for guests and cosplay guests. Definitely.
Geeks 5 ever.
But
Well,
we can only be on the internet. So
remember, hashtag Geeks5ever. No one's ever going to use that. Under Subsidence, we are definitely going to push them. Thank you, Under Subsidence, for providing the theme song for Geeks5ever. They're always been they got a concert coming up on September. Did I tell you the 14th or 17th? September 17th, I'm sorry. Under Subsidence has a concert on September 17th in Bryan, Texas, which is near College Station. All the info for their Facebook page will be posted below. Make sure to check out their concert. It's not just them. There's a bunch of other bands performing, and you can get your tickets at the door for $15. And it's a bar, so you know what? You can drink and have a good time. For 18, 21 up to drink, remember, Geeks 5 Ever does not condone underage drinking. Make sure you check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Geeks5Ever, our Twitter account, same thing, our Patreon, and our other accounts. This is Anime Unrated, and I'm telling you to stay classy. What is up, everyone? Anime Unrated here with another Geeks 5 Ever podcast. Today we're going to be doing a recap of Delta H-Con 2016 that just happened recently. We're still working on our music video. With us today, as always, she's always with us, is SAKEKITTY.